Welcome to day 10 of NTI. Aren't we excited for this? All right, so we are going to first go over day 9's exit ticket, and then we'll be teaching something new today. It'll be a refresher for some of us who can recall measurement, but for some of us, it'll be seeming very fresh and new. All right, so let's get started with the exit ticket from day 9. So we had two problems on this. We had 5 4/10 divided by 9/10. Okay, for the first problem. So when we're dividing this, we notice there's one shift we're going to make here. If we're making one shift to remove the decimal, then we're going to make one shift by what we're dividing it into. Therefore, it makes the problem 9 divided by 54. 54 divided by 9, which then gives you the answer of 6. Now, as I stated back on day 9, if you got the same answer for both of these, you know you did something wrong. Okay? Let's figure out if you did get the same answer for both of these, what was your mistake? So for this one, we have 5 4/10 divided by 9/100. 9/100. That's different than 9/10. So what we have to do here is make two shifts to get rid of the decimal. But Mr. Brislin, there's not a spot for two shifts. When it comes to 5 4/10, you're correct. There isn't a spot, so I have to make a new place value. So I still shift it twice, but now what it becomes is 540 divided by 9, which will give you 60. Because 9 goes into 54 6 times, you get 0 left over, but that 9 is going into 0 times, which gives you your 60. All right, so the key thing when it comes to when you're dividing decimals is you look at how many shifts there has to be by the number you're dividing by. And if you have to make a new place value so you can actually divide it, go ahead and do that. So as I was stating, we are moving on to measurement. All right, something a little different, but some of us might recall some of this. Even some of our background knowledge will help us through these problems from 4th grade math. Now, if this is your first time recognizing something different here, it's because I'm actually in the basement of my house. I've been kicked out of my school. Can you believe that? Kicked out. Ouch. Well, all of us teachers have been kicked out. So I am now hosting these videos in my basement, and I was graciously allowed to borrow this 8-foot dry erase board that we're going to be using, double-sided, to help me teach my lessons. So I'm very gracious for that. So let's get started with today's lesson. And as you're noticing, I have to do a little shifting too to make this work out. It's not as luxurious as having the smart board at school. All right, so day 10 NTI is focusing on length. All right, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to record this chart here. So I'll give you some time. You might even want to hit the pause button here to record 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, which is also equal to 36 inches. So 1 yard is 36 inches, just like 3 feet is 36 inches. 1 mile is 5,280 feet, which also therefore means it's also 1,760 yards. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So take time, record. You're going to want to write this down because you're going to need all of this information for the problems we're about to do. So let's start us off on number 1. All right, so number 1, 12 feet equals how many yards? All right, so what do we know? We know that there's 1 yard in every 3 feet. So I'm going to do something called a double number line to help me picture this easier. I'm going to make a number line here and another number line here. Okay. The first number line, we're going to call it our yard number line. Okay. The second number line, we're going to call it our feet number line. So I'm going to count by yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll stop there. And we'll number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go to 7. Why not? Then we know, according to our chart, okay, we know that there are 3 feet in a yard. So I'm going to count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, hey, 12 feet. What's that going to equal? 4 yards. So therefore, your answer is going to be 4 yards. Well, how did you get there? What I ultimately did was 12 divided by 3 to give me, because I knew each yard had 3 feet in it, to give me my 4 yards. Let's do one more practice before I let you solve some of these on your own. All right, 36 inches is how many yards? 36 inches is how many yards? All right, so let's do an inch. Actually, the top one will be yards. And we'll do, we could actually do two or three number lines, but we'll do another one called the inch number line. Okay, so according to our chart, 1 yard is how many inches? Oh, it says it's 36 inches? You're right, 36. Therefore, my answer is 1 yard. Now, if I was asking how many yards is 72 inches, then it would be 2 yards. Okay, this double number line is a fantastic trick to help you in solving this. How would you look to actually solve it as an expression? I would do 36 divided by 1 to give me 1 yard. All right, so now I'd like you to go ahead. I'm going to slide you over here and try solving this problem here. 3 yards equals how many feet? Go ahead and do that now. All right, we're back. So here we go looking at number 3. 3 yards equals how many feet? So I made 2 number lines here, calling it a double number line. One that was yards, the other one with feet. I know there's 3 yards, but I don't know how many feet that is. So I went up to 3 for my yard number line. I also know, according to my chart, that there's 3 feet in a yard. So I counted by threes until I got up to 3 yards. And I realized it was 9 feet. To write the expression, it would be 3 yards times 3 feet equals 9 feet. So 9 feet being my answer. All right, our next one is going to be 6 yards equals how many feet? Go ahead and solve that right now. All right, we're back here with number 4. So 6 yards equals how many feet? I started off with my top number line with yards. 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. Okay. I know according to my chart, there's 3 feet in a yard. So I'm going to count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 matches up with the 6. Therefore, 18 feet are in 6 yards. And the expression I used for that was 6 yards times 3 feet per yard. Okay, per yard will equal 18 feet. All right, this next one, we're going to move to miles. Okay, so 1 mile equals how many yards? Well, first off, go ahead and take a look at your chart because I think you'll figure it out pretty quickly. Okay, so the chart gave us the answer, right? But I still want us to look at this as how we would use a double bubble map. A double number line. We would have one number line with the 1 on it, 1 mile, showing that it's equal to 1,760 yards for my yard number line. But what if I wanted to know what 2 miles was? Okay, I would multiply 1,760 times the 2. Okay, in doing that, I would do 1,760 times 2 to give me 3,560. So 3,560 yards is 2 miles. All right, last but not least, using that chart of yours, let's solve number 6. 2 miles is how many feet? Go ahead and solve, go ahead and solve that now. All right, welcome back to our last problem before the exit ticket. So we have 2 miles equals how many feet? So 1 mile makes 5,280 feet, and we know that according to our chart. But I want to know 2 miles, how many feet? So I took 5,280 feet and times that by 2 miles to come up with 10,560 feet. All right, so at this point in time, if you still need a refresher on this, go back over some of these problems, look it over, break it down, slow down the video. But if you feel pretty confident, go ahead and do that exit ticket now. Thanks, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.